Hello, my loves. I'm Ellie Frost. Thank you, everyone who's subscribed and is on this journey with me about talking about narcissistic abuse and actually what's going on in the spiritual realm and how to cut the psychic ties. It is a psychic attack, it is a spiritual attack, and they are possessed by an entity, a consciousness. That is why they all act in the same way. Breaking free of this is a really difficult thing to do emotionally for most people, depending on the level of it that you've had in your life. Because narcissists project an illusion, right? If you're a heart-centered person, you want to be a good person and live a good life, right? So you're going to throw love at something that is not capable of showing you love back, right? And there's a ton of shame. The biggest shame in my life was my family. Like, I was so ashamed of I wasn't doing anything wrong. I was a sweet person. I was just trying to do my best. The way they treated me, I took so personally. I thought there was something massively wrong with me to be receiving it, right? And so I've questioned that so many times. Oops, sorry, because I've taught manifestation for years and different things about that. But like, how was I attracting that? The truth is our trauma, right? They know what to hook into. It's not your fault if you're in a narcissistic relationship. You get targeted by narcissists because some of us are on the planet to live in a different way, right? We come from our hearts. We have our hearts on our sleeve. We don't understand why people are, it's incomprehensible to understand the destructive energy that it is, because that is not our intention whatsoever. We would not do anything intentionally to destroy or distract someone. And if we think we've done something wrong, we tend to get very upset with ourselves. You know, we live in this constant doubt of ourselves where we're not able just to go out and hurt people. In fact, if we think we've done something wrong, it plays on our mind. Yeah. And so what's going on the planet right now is kind of like an awakening of the realization of what this is and how to dissolve it, which means we've got to be sovereign. Sovereign means I trust myself. I'm in my power. What happened to me, and it's got nothing to do with me. That's really hard for us to understand. It's not all karmic. Some of it is necessary for our activation and awakening of what we're here to stand for. But we can't hide in the shadows and pretend it doesn't go on. And we're not supposed to just allow this to be a thing anymore. We're here to actually claim our sovereignty, claim our true lives, claim our authentic power, and disengage, unattached from all of it. The most awful thing about a narcissist is because they're detached from their own soul, they're going to try and make you detached from yours, right? Which means you're going to have to be someone else to play the game. You're going to have to not talk about what you want and need at any point. In fact, everything that you have to do to fit in with them is going to be an illusion. So then you're kept outside of yourself. You're going to have to be less of yourself to be with them. You're going to have to diminish your true desires, what you want and need, your true feelings. You're going to have to be whatever they need you to be in order to play the game. That's not a fully expressed life. That's not what you came on the planet to do. And that's not something we're here to tolerate and accept anymore. Most of them are playing on what I call wounds, so our past traumas. Now, trauma needs to be understood to understand narcissism. Trauma isn't just a big event that you've experienced in this lifetime. Trauma is carried down in your DNA like your features are, right? This sounds complicated, but just go with me on it for a minute. So we carry consciousness. I'm talking a lot about consciousness, which is awareness, right? So a narcissist is attached to an entity that is a consciousness working through them. It has been proven scientifically, right, that if you've had a lot of generational trauma, you are still often carrying that in your energetic field. I can tell you more about that, but that's what's going on. And that attracts certain cooperative components in the universe, certain relationships, certain things that accentuate those wounds. Now, spiritually, you're being asked to awaken, to actually claim your spiritual sovereignty, to claim yourself, your authentic self. But the reason we're a target and a magnet for it is these unhealed wounds, is the unconscious fears, kind of like fears and insecurities we carry, which might have happened beyond our lifetime, that we've actually carried down generationally, that we're here to break. They're karmic chains we're here to break. That's what's going on spiritually. So in order to do it, you claim your sovereignty. Now, when I say disengage psychically, this is very hard to do. You're going to feel the narcissist energy come at you. You're really going to feel it, and you're going to feel the illusion. The minute you withdraw, you're going to feel the projection they put on you of what they could have been. It is very difficult in this spiritual battle to know that you're right, that you're actually correct, that what you are feeling is valid. They will try and make you feel like you're crazy. So we have to know how to align with our spiritual bodies, our true essence, right? Our souls, to know what the truth is. Because you know something feels off, but you're not sure if it's because of you. And you're not sure why you can't get them out of your field, because they are literally attacking you in the energetic realm. So we have to push it away and say, no, I'm talking about no consent. You can give no consent to this and it will have to leave. It will have to leave, but you have to see it for what it is. And every fear you have about your survival, security, approval, love, validation, you're going to have to heal in order to be sovereign and not targeted by these things, right? Because they will target all of those things. Not everyone meets a narcissist. It's a very harsh journey to have to go through, but I do believe the people that have gone through it are here for a particular purpose, a spiritual purpose on the planet right now. I think that we're calling time on this right now and we're coming into our own consciousness and awareness, and why it happened to you was to activate you into your soul purpose and be part of the change. We're not here to be controlled, dominated and manipulated and puppet mastered anymore. We're here to stand in our sovereignty. It's not safe to just show love to a narcissist. They will take your kindness for weakness. They will exploit every beautiful emotion you have, and that will try, because they want to turn you into their consciousness, which means they want you to become dark, right? And when we don't think it's safe to love, and when we don't think it's safe to be unconditionally loving and open-hearted and kind and, open, that was one of the things that people exploited in me, my openness. I would just be open with people. And I didn't have a sinister agenda. We're rewriting how life is done, coming from our hearts, coming from unconditional love. That's what we're being asked to do. And we are being taught by this entity that that's not safe. And I'm telling you, it's totally safe. With the right people, you can be open-hearted, loving, kind, genuine, honest, and not be exploited. And we have to call time on these demons, really, entities that are going on. I'm going to run a coaching program. I'm going to open it now and start it in March. So if you want to join me on that, it's called Sovereign. So for the first 2 weeks of it, we're going to be looking at who you are, right? What do you want in your life? Who are you? What's your essence? What's your soul purpose? Then we're going to go into wounds and trauma healing. And then we're going to go into creating your desires, like the life you want. How do you build the life of your dreams? Stop settling for this devastation over and over again. There's nothing wrong with you if this happened to you. It was just supposed to awaken your soul. You get to have the opposite of what you've experienced, because I think a lot of times in narcissistic relationships, what's so horrible is you think things are good and then the whole world changes. They turn on you. And that's why it gives us this, what's called cognitive dissonance. You just can't believe it. You're trying to reconcile the person I thought it was with what I'm receiving now, or what they're doing compared to who they project they are, or the life you thought you had with the life you're actually living. It's like such a shock, such a trauma, right? We get to heal the trauma, and the most healing thing you can do is build your real life and tell the fucking truth. We're not supposed to hide in the shadows. We're not supposed to live in shame. I really did not want to talk about narcissism, right? I've built a business on self-expression, building a brand around who you are and what you love, like building businesses, like helping people in different ways. This was the one topic that was the most painful thing in my life. I grew up with it. I was targeted over and over again by narcissists. I understand it's part of my purpose, but this is the one thing I really did not want to share much on. And it's the one thing that is the most important thing that I do, right? But I had a lot of shame about it, because it is very hard to believe that there's not something wrong with us when we've been targeted in this way, that that we carry the shame and that feeds their energy. There's nothing wrong with us, right? We were just a target. And some of the reason you're a target is beyond anything you've done, anything you know about. You represent the new world. You represent a different way of being. And some people will try and exploit that. But I do not believe we're meant to back down in our open-heartedness. I believe we're meant to see it for what it is and cast the demons aside and build beautiful lives, connected lives, show the light, be something different in this world. This is the time for it, right? And yeah, I'm never going to turn into it. I knew that the whole time. You're swimming in shark-infested waters and you need to push the shark away, not become like the shark, right? And some people get turned. They want to turn the energy. They want to change your energy. Don't do it. The more of us that stay in our light, stay open-hearted, stay kind, stay loving, do the things you know are right in integrity with yourself, do not detach from yourself and push the demon away and show that we don't need them at all, the more we'll dissolve this on the planet. But trying to change them is what they're trying to do to you, and that's why it's an energetic match. They're trying to change you into them, like into that darkness, and you're trying to change them into the light. This is a free will universe. You can't change them. Just let them learn their own way and build a beautiful life. Be the example of what you want to see on the planet. So if you want to join Sovereign, please send me a comment. I haven't got it on my website, but it will be a really cool experience for us to do, and you'll be able to join the group straight away and talk about anything you want to talk about, but it's going to be focused on who am I? What am I here to do? Our sole purpose. What are the wounds I've got to clear? And there'll be trauma healing. I do that energetically. It's not re-traumatizing in any way. I just channel it and we move it out in the energy field. And then what am I here to create? Because a lot of the time, what these people do is distract you from your purpose. You spend so much time thinking about them and what they're doing and what they've done and what it means. And being so traumatized, you don't go on and live your beautiful life that you actually came to live, right? So we don't want to be distracted by this anymore. We've got a beautiful life to live. We've got a magical opportunity to co-create with the universe. I can teach you manifestation and be able to experience the love that we give, you know, our true life experience, doing the things that fulfill us abundantly, in joy, in pleasure, in a completely different reality to what you've received. So if you're interested in that, let me know. Any other questions, let me know. People are, you know, I know the question is, how do I break the psychic ties? And I really feel it's like you have to just no consent. Nothing can touch your energy unless you consent to it. So I think I said on a previous video, you can do like protection and energetic work and stuff like that, but nothing can touch you unless you consent. But the trick of the narcissist is you don't know what you're letting in. And when you let it in, it causes riot. But you have to let it in. Now, what you don't know is what you're actually letting in and the consequences of it. So we have to have absolutely no consent, no availability for this in our life whatsoever, right? And then it can't touch you. It can't touch you, and it can't actually exist if we insist on higher standards for this planet, how we show up and what we want to receive. So I hope that makes sense, guys. Lots of love, and I'll speak to you soon.